Alright, we are ready to get started. Namami Dhanvam Paramadevam Surasurehi Vandite Adupadmam Loke Jararuka Bhaimrityunasham Dhataranisham Vividoshadhinam. Namaste everybody. So today is Earth Day. That means it's Day of Earth, Mother Earth, who we call Bhu Devi. Bhu means earth, and Devi is goddess, deity, or Gaia. She's called by many names. So in her honor, we've created some videos that we'll also be posting, talking about plants and how to take care of them. And I also wanted to do some little at-home things that you could do. So I wanted to start by making a little like a baby powder. Alright, let's get started.
You want me to zoom into your work area now?
So ideally, I use arrowroot flour for this, but because of the quarantine situation, I tried to order arrowroot. I was not able to get it, so I'm just going to go with cornstarch. But yeah, arrowroot is really, really good. So basically, you need some cornstarch and some arrowroot flour, a little bit of turmeric. Here I have neem, and this is from Banyan Botanicals. And then I have some manjishta. And we'll talk about these herbs in a little while and what they mean and so, but I want to just dive in. And if you have any questions, you can also put in the chat, and I will see if we can answer them. Okay. Let's see. So in India, after taking a bath, we are not really much into putting a deodorant and so on. We actually use a baby powder, and here also I've seen women use a baby powder. Most of the baby powders are not really good for babies. So arrowroot flour is awesome. Like I said, last year we did this at Radha Madhav Dham, and we had little kids come and make their own, kind of baby powder, acne powder. But corn powder works. Literally, the cornstarch that you use for cooking and baking, that cornstarch. I'm making a sample, and it's so fine, so that works completely. If you can get oat flour, that will work for people who have eczema, but I'm talking about really fine oat flour, not the one that is coarse. That's not going to work for, as a baby powder. So oat flour, very fine oat flour, arrowroot is the best, and this is just corn powder that we use for cornstarch that we use for cooking and baking. I'm going to use, so that was, this is I think this is this is probably 2 teaspoons. We are just doing this simple amount. And I'm going to put a pinch in 2 teaspoons, I'm going to put a pinch of turmeric. Now turmeric powder smells wonderful. So turmeric will tend to make everything yellow. So you want to put a little bit of pinch of it. Turmeric is naturally anti-inflammation. It's excellent for the skin. It's a butter nail. But you're going to put just a little bit, just a pinch. That will work. So if you're putting just a pinch, then it's not going to turn the skin yellow. So you can see herein, I'm not sure, can we see? And the next herb that I'm using is manjishta. Now this is just manjishta that I got from Maharishi Ayurveda. You could get organic manjishta from Banyan or any company that supplies organic. Manjista. Manjista is one of my favorite go-to herbs. I call it an Ayurvedic super herb, really. Manjista turmeric I didn't talk so much about. There's so much information about turmeric already. But Manjista smells so good. It is sweet, it's bitter, it's astringent, and sometimes you can have a hoarse voice, or you've been talking all day and not a sore throat in the sense of, but if your throat hurts, if your voice has a problem.
Manjista is the superlative of sweet.
Yes. Someone who has just suffered from laryngitis maybe, so it really gets the hoarseness of the voice, or you've been talking all day, so it's so good. And one of the top things Manjista is most known for in Ayurveda is skin, Varnaya. So along with saffron and turmeric, Manjista is the top herb for skin. So because it's so amazing for skin, you're going to put, this is more than a pinch, this is half, this is almost, so I'm doing it more by ratio. So this is half of the cornstarch. So as much cornstarch as I'm using, so 2:1 ratio of cornstarch, and you can see done. Okay, so let's go, and I want to talk a little bit more about Manjista. Like I said, Manjista is so popular as skin support, and it does so because it cleanses the blood. It's asra, it cleanses the blood, and it cleanses the liver, and because it cleanses the blood in the liver, the effect is immediately seen on the skin. We also call it kushta. Kushta are skin diseases in Ayurveda. So one that helps the kushta is Manjista. One thing that is not very well known about Manjista is that it's meha. So in Ayurveda, you have prameha, madhumeha. Meha are urinary tract issues, kidney issues, related metabolic disorders, maybe related to even diabetes. So they're called a meha group of diseases. So it is actually great for meha, and because it's great for meha, it is also given for eye. So there's a correlation. Because it's great for meha, sometimes you could have like an ocular headache with pressure under the eyes, and there's heat and eyes feel sensitive. Manjista can support with that. And if there are eye disorders that are related with the meha, diabetes, urinary tract issues, metabolic disorders, can help with that. Now those are the lesser known facts about Manjista, but yeah, it is most famous for being amazing for the skin. I want to show you neem. I actually have a little neem tree outside. A little later I'll get some neem leaves and bring them here, and maybe we can make a neem swarasa, which is neem juice, because we're going to be talking about swarasa. I will be taking breaks in this live session, so I can go collect materials. So you might see that this is all empty for a few minutes. But anyway, coming back. So neem, this is just an organic neem from a banyan. So I do have my little neem tree outside, and it doesn't like the winter here in Texas. So what I do is we'll harvest all the leaves of neem, because it's going to shed them anyway. And I do different stuff with it. I'll make a neem oil with it, which is the easiest. You make a little swarasa, and we'll do a swarasa, we'll do a little tailam, and so on and so forth. Okay, so neem is fantastic. Neem is antifungal support, antiviral support, and antibacterial support. And this, again, I'm taking the same pinch amount as turmeric. So I'm giving ratio, so you can do 2 teaspoons or 2 tablespoons or 2 cups, however much you're making. So 2 of cornstarch, 2 parts of cornstarch, 1 part of Manjishta. This is the main herb because this is for skin and it smells good. Then you have a pinch of turmeric, and we're using a pinch of turmeric. Why? We're using the pinch of turmeric only because we don't want the skin to get too yellow. But even a pinch is potent, it goes a long way. And then we're using a pinch of neem. Just pinch. You know, the things like if you're cooking, there are things that are very potent that you will use in very small amounts. This is one of those potent things, right? And of course, then we're just gonna mix it together. And here is your little baby powder for your skin. Sometimes I'll add an essential oil of rose to make it smell really, really good.
Yeah, there you go.
But since you cannot smell it and it's not in person, I'm not adding it, but you could do that too. Adding a drop or two of lavender or rose is fantastic. There's your baby powder. So I'm going to take a 1 minute break and see if there are any comments on the side. Yes, so there's a question there. Is it correct? No, arrowroot is different from cornstarch. I do not have arrowroot right now, so I'm using cornstarch because it's very fine and it's very soft. But my preference would be to use arrowroot flour instead of cornstarch flour. But I was not able to get the arrowroot on time because of the shipping situation during the quarantine. So ideally, you want to do two parts of arrowroot flour and all these herbs mixed along with it. But if arrowroot is not available, cornstarch will also do. Hope that answers your question. Is there any other question? Yes, there is one question. How can I learn Ayurveda and Marma Chikitsa? Yeah, that's a good question, and I'll come back. We will talk about the school. We'll talk about certain books, but right this minute we're talking about other things. All right, so I'm going to take clean this and all right. Now we're going to talk about one of my favorite herbs ever, aloe vera. Why is it my favorite? Because it doesn't require, it is a super herb, not just in Ayurveda, but in many different cultures, whether it's shamans, the Western herbalist, we all use it. And you can grow it in your garden. It's doesn't require a lot of attention compared to some of the other herbs and flowers and veggies. And so I got this one, and we're going to try and make a little skin, something called lepa, L-E-P-A. I wish I could write it down somewhere and write. It's lepa, L-E-P-A. When we edit this, I'm going to add the recipes there. So lepa, what does a lepa mean? Lepa means something that you put on your skin. How many of you have ever had, like you've had a seasonal allergy, skin allergy? Last year I got these sugar bites. The sugar bites, they're very itchy. So if you ever had any kind of bite, skin allergy, it's very itchy. And you really kind of want to itch that, right? So can we make something which helps with itching, which actually heals the skin? Remember that herb that we talked about, a few minutes ago, that really helps the skin, and we made the powder with it. If you remember, we made that powder. So we are using the same herb Manjishta, but you can't just take a powder and put the powder on your skin, right? If you're making a lepa, if you're making something topical, you need something. So our base for our topical oil today is going to be little aloe. So I just literally harvested this in the morning. It's enough. So if you look, there are little, you want to take these little things off first. I'm going to take my glasses off. We want to get all that gel out of the leaf. And I'm just using a bread knife here. The bigger the leaf is better. So you see, it's you want to get those thorny things out. And I've taken all of that out. Yeah. Very gently. The bigger the leaf of aloe, the better it is. Now, if you were to take the gel part internally, I would not suggest to take it internally unless it's being purified. Then the dosage that is given in the Ayurvedic texts is about 1 to 3 grams. So think 1/4 teaspoon. It's a really small dosage. But if you're taking aloe vera, topically it can be a lot more. I was talking about internally, of course. You see? Can you see the gel? Okay. The gel is beginning to come out. If you have a aloe vera in your garden, you know, we are all quarantined. This is a really good time to do stuff. I've made my own lipstick. And see, one part is gone and just a little bit more to go. Before you start this, make sure you, and you're almost there. See, it's very slimy and it's so cooling, you know, it's slimy and cooling, as you can see.
Good burn first aid too.
Yeah. It is good for daha. That means, daha means burning sensation. So now if you burn our skin, you can see the aloe gel is coming out. It's a little bit work, you know, labor intensive. I am not so good with knives, so someone who's really good with knives can probably do it a lot more quicker. Can you see this now? Now we have the gel. Okay, mortar and pestle.
Manuela?
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Guruji. Okay. You want to take this, and you won't be able to see it. I'll try to do it in here. So I'm going to take this, add it here. So you can see it's now a gelatinous liquid. Right? Now, I also have, because I didn't want to cut like 10, it'll take an hour cutting all of them. So I'm doing a little bit of cheat here. I have some ready-made aloe vera juice. And I just want enough because we're going to make a lepa, meaning we're going to make a paste of herbs. So we have the fresh gelatinous portion. I'm also going to take fresh aloe vera juice. This is 99.8% pure aloe. You can get this from Whole Foods. So I've just taken a really tiny amount in here and I'm mixing it just enough to make a paste. That paste is the lepa.
And you just have the liquid there, you haven't added any powders yet.
It's just no powders have been added yet. This is just aloe vera juice and the gel. Now we are ready to, let me put my glasses on. Here you go. And a spoon. I think I need a proper recipe. Do you have a teaspoon by any chance?
Yes, this is the 1 teaspoon. That is the 1 teaspoon.
Kaylin, if you don't have, here's a question I'm answering there. If you do not have manjishta, just do baby powder with arrowroot flour and a little bit of turmeric. That should be enough. Guduchi is not really needed. So just turmeric and arrowroot flour or turmeric and cornstarch powder should be enough. And yeah, I can send you some. So this is 1 teaspoon. Because we are making a lepa, I've taken 1 teaspoon of manjishta. I'm adding this. And we just want to make a little paste here. I'm adding just a little bit of water. So it's going to be like a gelatinous paste. See how the paste is coming out? Because it's mixed in with the...
Okay.
It's a thick paste. So you know how we...
If you keep it down at the level you're working on it, then I don't have to move the camera up because I'm zoomed away in to
Okay.
see.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, like that is good. Yeah, there you go. That's better.
That's good.
Yep.
So, because, you see how it's become like a gel liquid. So how are you going to use this, how do you use this? This can be used as a lepa on burns, someone who has oozing dermatitis. Obviously, do note, all of those who are watching the live stream, Ayurveda is not recognized. Ayurveda practitioner is not allowed to treat, diagnose, or prevent any disease. So all of this is for informational purposes only. So, according to Ayurvedic texts, of course, aloe is such an amazing super herb, and so is manjishta. And now we have combined them together, and this lepa can be put on all kind of skin issues. Actually, this lepa can be had internally also. But because I got this right out of my garden and I didn't have time to purify the aloe, I wouldn't take it internally. But if the aloe was purified, then this can be actually taken internally as well as be put on, wounds and acne and skin imbalances, especially skin imbalances related to pitta, where there's inflammation, there's heat, there's all kind of issues. Now there are skin imbalances related to kapha and skin imbalances related to vata. I'm specifically talking about skin imbalances related to pitta, meaning there's a lot of heat and inflammation and redness involved. Okay, I'm going to look at the YouTube and see if there are any questions. Okay. Okay, I want to talk about, since we are on this, you're talking about aloe, this is just an aloe, I think was it in Whole Foods? You found it in Whole Foods or one of those natural grocery stores?
Might even have been Costco. It was
Oh, maybe in Costco, one of those areas. Now, aloe is a super herb. Now, turmeric is a super herb, and I was walking by an airport, and in an airport now they're selling golden turmeric coffee. It's that popular, but really, aloe is so easily available. It's in your garden, it's outside, and it's a super herb. It is amazing for topical application. You can take it internally. There's so many things you could do. This is, aloe is, main thing that aloe is used for is skin issues. We already knew that, acne and so on. And it is very commonly used for women-related issues. So in Sanskrit, aloe is Kumari. Kumari also means girl. So specifically unmarried girl or younger girl. So Kumari is an herb that is good for a girl. Literally that's what it means. So Kumari or aloe, you can get, like we found the gel, and we looked at the juice, and you can also get aloe in a powdered form, believe it or not. But I wouldn't suggest it because the leaves are so easily available. Why bother? So one of the things when I'm teaching in my Ayurveda college, we strongly tell students Ayurveda doesn't believe in juicing. And why do I say that? Because in America, when people juice, they juice with these big glasses, pint, half a gallon of juice. Oh my God. The juicing dosages in Ayurveda are like 10 milliliters. That's 2 teaspoons, or 20 milliliters. That's 4 teaspoons. Or like a shot, which is 24 milliliter. If someone needs a whole amount of juice, that'll be maybe 96 milliliters in a whole day, which is like a cup spread out throughout the day. So the dosages are really, think of the Ayurvedic form of juice as a therapeutic medicine. You don't drink a glass of it. It's given in milliliter, small amounts that you drink, like a shot or half a shot, and so on and so forth. So a good dosage for aloe would be between 10 and 20 milliliters. Now, if you did not grow up with metric system, think of 5 milliliter is 1 teaspoon. So let me show you. Yeah, so this is 15 milliliter, 1 tablespoon. So one entire, this is good enough. And this is 1 teaspoon. So 1 teaspoon is 5 milliliter. So a dosage can be this 1 teaspoon twice a day or thrice a day. So it gets between 5 mil and 20 mil. That's your dosage for this taking internally. For some people who are not that well, we might give a little bit more. Maybe we might give 15 mil twice a day or once a day. Totally depends on the person. So what is aloe good for? Like I was telling you before, it's daha. It's given for daha, for burning sensation. Not only outside the body, oh my God, I burned myself, I need to put some aloe gel or something to cool myself down, but also the internal burning. Women will tell you, especially those who are in perimenopause, there can be internal burning and hot flashes. So this is very cooling. So it's amazing. So all Pitta women and all women who are getting hot flashes, this is amazing. It's given for constipation, it's indicated for constipation. So it is pretty good for Vata women, right? And one of the things that is not known about aloe is that it's actually good for gulma. Now gulma is like a benign growth in the abdomen or any kind of benign growth anywhere in the body. So either some of these benign growths are called granthi, or these benign growths are called gulma. And aloe is given internally. Now it's not given by itself. For something like granthi or gulma, you need to give it with some things that breaks it down. So it might be given with gugulu, for instance. It might be given with turmeric. It might be given with like Kanchanar gugulu is an herb which is given for polycystic ovary syndrome, or it's given for growth in the uterine lining. But along with that gugulu, Kanchanar gugulu, we will give aloe, because kind of aloe will also help the delivery of this herb to where it needs to go. And it's also quite fantastic for cleansing the liver. So twice a year you should do like a liver cleanse. At that time, taking it's great. And amazingly, it's also good for the spleen. So spleen, liver, it both. But one of the things is, just because it's in super herb doesn't mean that you can start chugging it down. There is no chugging down in Ayurveda. We need to take small dosages. We need to go to an Ayurveda practitioner for this. And most important, it's great for skin, but it's Rakta Pitta Hara. So if you know a woman who gets very, very heavy bleeding, also intestinal cramps or menstrual cramps that really hurt, so aloe is good. Now, when someone is getting very heavy duty bleeding, then it's not like we'll just give aloe, everything will be okay. There are many other things we'll do, but I'll personally suggest something called Ashoka, and Ashoka with aloe should put a stop to that, help support that. For instance, both are nice for that heavy bleeding. Another last thing that aloe can be, so Rakta Pitta Hara. Rakta Pitta Hara means bleeding from different orifices, whether it's nasal bleeding, or there's bleeding, hemorrhoids, rectal bleeding, or uterine bleeding, so it can be given. And last but not the last, I'm done praising this beautiful herb. It is a rasayana, and it's good for the eyes. All right, thank you. Let's look at the questions. That's a really good question. Does aloe clear up dark scars? I would not do aloe by itself. For dark scars, I would, can we get saffron? That's a really good question. Let's show you the things. Thank you. This is Spanish saffron, and it's really expensive. There's saffron stamen. This is the stamen.
About $40 for that 1 ounce tin.
Yeah, and there's also saffron flowers. They're called Nagakeshara. They're dried flowers of saffron. You can get them in an Indian store, and they are not expensive. They're like a few dollars. But the stamen part is very expensive. This is the part you could take the. Let's get some out. I don't know if this is visible. So remember, we had made that gel. We had made the gel with Manjishta. So if we add some turmeric in that gel and we add some saffron oil, so I can teach how to make saffron oil in a little while, not right now. But the combination of saffron oil and Manjishta with aloe is what will probably help the dark spots. A very quick remedy for dark spots, which may not, if the dark spot is like a sunspot that happened 2 days ago, it's very recent, then simply taking turmeric and mixing it with yogurt and applying the paste of turmeric and yogurt on your dark spot. But if it's been around for a long time, then the turmeric by itself is not going to work. It has to be applied a few times. And then of course, make sure you wear the sunscreen. Hope that answers the question. So there's a question, what about on the skin? I have one on my leg. I'm not sure I understand that. Can you repeat that, Kaylin? Well, now we're going to make a face pack, which lighten the skin, and we will use some of this, and we're going to use this aloe and manjista, and we're going to use a little bit of, and we're going to make a face pack. So I'm going to take a 1 minute break, and I'll be right back. How do we give a break?
You just go and come back. I mean, it doesn't make sense to stop. I can pause the streaming on the host side. You want me to pause streaming?
Oh, okay. Benign growth will aloe help? Yes, Kaylin, that's a really great question. For benign growth, aloe will help. You not only need to take it internally, but you need to put some lekana, things that will break down the benign growth. So, like we have made the manjista, turmeric, aloe, neem. So make that and rub it on there, and put a lepa and do it every day. So remember, the growths can be of 3 or 4 types. It could be, what is the quality of the growth? If it's vata type, it's dry and it's hard, and then just these things are not going to work. They need to be softened up. If it's oozing and it has like a head, then it's a different kind. So I without seeing it, I can't say. But normally, lekana, scraping herbs as topically should help. All right, now I'm going to take a break.
So 2 minutes, I'll pause it. Yeah. And would you like to have a monitor so you can see?
I'm seeing it on the monitor.
Yeah, but it's delayed. Yeah, I actually don't have a way to pause the streaming, so it is still streaming, but whatever.
All right, I'm back. Okay. All right. Now we're going to make a face pack. Right? Namaste. We are back. We're going to make a little face pack. So, in India, when a girl is about to get married, especially in the Hindus, there is a ceremony where it's literally like a ceremony in which it's a party where they take some turmeric and they take some yogurt and they make a paste, Ayurvedic paste, and putting on the Ayurvedic paste, not just on the face but on the entire body. The family comes around and they put the paste. It's the haldi ceremony. Haldi is turmeric. So there is an Ayurvedic ceremony which is part of the beautification of bride. So we're going to make that. It takes care of a lot of skin issues. It's a little bit of I have Greek yogurt, and Greek yogurt is a little bit thick. So we're going to add a little bit of water. Possible to get water. But if you have, in India what we call the yogurt we use is dahi. It's more, it's a watered down version of the yogurt. So we are starting, so this is literally a face pack. You put it on your face, you leave it, and you take it off after 10 or 15 minutes. It really cools down your face, number one. If you have a cold, do not do this. It's really cold. It's a cold. If your face is red or you have acne or there's heat in it or there's some skin issues related to heat and there's redness, then this is fantastic, especially for like summer season. So I'm literally taking 1 tablespoon of, it is so thick I can barely get it in.
Use a spoon.
And it's a thick, you will be able to smell turmeric and your skin will be yellow for, thank you, your skin will be yellow for a minute or two. And this is 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon. As you can see. So yogurt is, it's a probiotic, it's cooling, and it's like a natural vitamin A cream that people spend so much money on. Just use yogurt. It's a natural vitamin A cream, and add to that beautiful turmeric. It's the best face pack in the world. Now I'm going to add a little bit of saffron to this. Ideally, what you want to do is, there's some water here. We're going to add the saffron to the water because we want the color of the saffron to get mixed in with here. You can see that how the water is turning yellow. We will maybe wait a minute or two. So saffron oil is pretty, easy to do. This water that has been mixed with saffron will now be mixed here, and this is so varane. This is like a anti-aging facial cream, really. The only thing is, because it's made with fresh yogurt, fresh organic yogurt, and you can't really store it. Maybe you can store it for like 24 hours, but unlike the face creams that women, or the facial creams and all those rubs and portions that we spend so much money on, this doesn't last. That is the negative. Positive is that it's cheap, it's in your refrigerator. It is so much better than, you go and these expensive creams, $40, $50, anti-aging, this, that. Yogurt is the best thing, right? So, you can see how the color of the water has changed because we've added all of this saffron to it. Saffron in Sanskrit is called kumkuma. Beautiful. And you can have kumkum oil, and when kumkumadi oil is the Ayurvedic face treatment which makes you look young and pretty and makes your skin look nice. So we are going to take a little bit, maybe we are taking 1 tablespoon of this beautiful water. So you have here the 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt, and 1 tablespoon of saffron infused water. And we're going to mix this together. How beautiful is that? And you're going to make a paste out of it.
Let me tilt it up just a tiny bit. Yep, that's great. Perfect.
Hi Linda, nice to see you. If you have any questions, let me know. So what we are making is this beautiful, perfect, your milk has protein, it has vitamin A, and then of course the yogurt has probiotic. All of that is going straight into your face, into your skin. Add to that gorgeous turmeric, which is amazing for the skin, and then we have added the saffron, which is like an Ayurvedic secret for beautiful skin. I'm just going to put it on my face and I will take it off later. So you literally just apply it on your skin.
I'm going to zoom in on your face.
My yellow skin, oh my god, it smells so good. I love the smell of turmeric. It feels so incredibly cooling. I can't tell you how amazing that feels. And of course, when you're doing it, you put it all over your face, you wait about 10 to 15 minutes. And then of course you wash your face off. That's it. You could also, if you have some skin issue or something, you could also someone had a question about dark spots. This is fantastic for dark spots. This is so good for dark spots, little sunspots, dark spots, all the things that happen on our skin.
So this is actually all edible stuff.
Yes, and you can eat it.
We don't put stuff on the skin that we wouldn't take internally also.
Exactly.
No
if
chemicals.
you cannot eat it,
A little astringent.
Slightly bitter, but it's edible. So if you're going to put a face mask, you should be able to eat it, right? I'll have to take a very, very quick break. I'll be back with my rest of my stuff. And if you have any questions, and those of you who are logged in, please put in your questions in the chat. I'd be happy to answer them.
It's the Eat Your Makeup Challenge.
Yes, that is fantastic. I love that. Let's do it. And I'm back. Atul has just suggested that we do a challenge, hashtag Eat Your Makeup Challenge. So yeah, let's make it a thing. I'm going to put that in the YouTube. Alright, so what all have we made today? We've made baby powder, or powder just deodorant. You could put it on under your armpits. You could put it on the skin issues. And if you want to put it on your armpits, a good idea to put some nice essential oils in there. And if you're going to use this as a deodorant, you might want to put maybe some grounded Epsom salts in them as well. Salts are natural deodorizers, and they also take, And then we've made a face mask with yogurt, and we've used turmeric and some saffron water. And keep that aside. And we used aloe, and we used manjista. And we used aloe juice to make this lepa, to make this paste for skin imbalances, burning, and so on. The last on my list, believe it or not, is a little Ayurvedic juice. So we have many Ayurvedic books. So you have the 3 big books, and they're called Brihatrai. And then you have the so-called smaller books called the Lagutrai. One of these books is called Sharandhar Samhita. It's a small book, and the medium portion, which is called Madhyama Khanda, talks about different recipes. So this recipe where we just took some saffron flower, saffron stamen, and we put it in water and it was absorbed, right? This is an infusion, right? When you put a flower, and look how the color is so gorgeous, the color is so beautiful. This, when you took the saffron flower and you put it in water, obviously you could do it with roses, you could do it with jasmine flowers, you could do it with any fragrant flower, you could do it with lavender flowers, you could do it with calendula, marigold, honeysuckle. When you add a flower to water, the essence, that's how lavender water or rose water and so on are made. And there is a name for this. It's called Hima, H-I-M-A, Hima. Hima means a cooling infusion. There's a whole chapter and recipes about different Himas in our Ayurvedic texts. So this is called a Hima. Now this manjista and aloe mix that we had made, a lepa topically for skin imbalances, it is a paste, a kalka. In fact, this turmeric and yogurt paste in Ayurveda, we could use it topically. You could also use it internally, and you could use this to make another formulation on the top of that. Just like we use this water, which was infused with saffron, and mixed it and made something else. Similarly, we can take this kalka and make a tailam out of it. We can make a grita out of it. Tailam means oil, grita means ghee. So a medicated ghee might be prepared by making a paste of certain herbs like aloe and manjista, and then you create a secondary formulation with it, like oil, tailam, or grita, or vati, or whatever it may be. It's just to give you an example. Alright, so we have learned about Hima. A tea or a boiled tea is called a kashaya. This is called a kalka. A paste is called a kalka. And now we're going to learn what the Ayurvedic texts say about juicing, called swarasa. Swarasa is a juice. In Ayurveda, simply, if you literally, we're talking, you could take a little bit of garlic and you could crush it, and the juice that comes out of it would be the juice of garlic. And I'm going to try and do the juice of garlic right here.
You want the garlic?
Oh yeah. I should probably do the juice of garlic maybe towards the end, but ideally you need cheesecloth. Don't have any cheesecloth, Lee.
Nope.
So the juicing of potent drugs like juice of a ginger, juice of a garlic, juice of neem leaves, these are all swarasas, they're very potent. You can't chug them. They're given in quantities like half a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon. I mean, can you imagine drinking garlic juice? But you can imagine half a teaspoon of garlic, right? That is used in cooking. It is put in other things. And for example, there is an Ayurvedic tablet. It's called Lasunadi Vati. Lasan means garlic. Adi means other things, other herbs. Vati means tablet. Or Vatika, sometimes it's called Vatika. There's a couple of things that are not easily available here. My students will make Lasanadi Vati as part of their Ayurveda practitioner, or they might make Eladi Vati, which is basically a cardamom tablet. You can just take the lasan and squeeze it through a cheesecloth, and those 1 or 2 drops that come out can be put topically and can be used internally for aches and pains. Garlic has so many beautiful medicinal properties. Yes, it smells bad. What to do? I'm hoping this works. Literally 1 drop
Getting a
came
little
out.
bit.
1 drop came out, yeah.
You want to try shredding it first?
Yes, let's shred it a little bit. Yeah, normally you would just use a cheesecloth and squeeze it really hard. But I don't have my cheesecloth. Again, I was not able to get certain things that we needed for the... Oh boy. The stench.
This is a strong aroma.
It's a little bit strong.
Pungent. There are no vampires here.
Yes. Yes, of course we know that's good for vampires too, right? Alright. We are just looking for 1 or 2 drops for a topical application, literally. Oh, it's not squeezing, that's the problem. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can find a cheesecloth and we'll leave it. But basically you squeeze the... Oh yeah, that would probably... The 1 drop is all we need.
You just want to put this on top to push it down. Yeah.
Yeah, you got another drop. Here we go. You can see some couple of, can you see?
Yep.
There's a 1 or 2 drops of the garlic juice that came out. Here we go. And that's all we need for our formulations. That 1 drop is that 1 drop is all we need. It's that potent. I'll probably make another video when I have a proper cheesecloth. But you can have ginger, garlic, leaves, tulsi leaves, and all you need is just 1 or 2 drops of those leaves, the juice that is used topically for different applications. So this little 1 drop that we got out of garlic can be used in so many ways. It can be actually used in cooking. You can mix it with other herbs for topical wound healing as well. All right, let's see if there are any questions. All right, I think I need a glass because I use that for the. I think this is going to be my last. I'm going to come back and see if anyone else is logged in. This is going to be my last.
Oh,
That's
you
good.
got the saffron in here.
And then I'll use that, yes. So I just wanted to talk about, I love pomegranate juice. I want to talk about pomegranate juice. Again, small amounts of, and then there's some unsweetened cranberry juice here. And we're gonna, make a little Ayurvedic juice mix, very small amount. And then we're gonna add a masala, a chaat masala, which is basically a spice mix that makes it more digestible. It's right here. So let's talk about pomegranate. Pomegranate is called dardima. It's in Sanskrit. It is very sweet, astringent. Astringent literally means, if you've ever had red wine and it leaves like a taste in your mouth, a little drying, that's what astringent means. And so is cranberry. Cranberry does the same as well. Again, a pomegranate, it helps with the burning and thirst. It can even be given for irritable bowel syndrome, or what we call in Ayurveda, grahani. It is also medya. It is good for the mind. It is shukrala. It increases reproductive fluids as well. People who have had some weak heart, in order to strengthen those cardiac muscles, we take a little bit of what we have an herb called Arjuna. Arjuna is a cardiotonic. So that Arjuna is never given by itself. You never just buy like a powdered Arjuna and start like eating it. You have to, in Ayurveda, you have to mix certain juices and herbs and, bring them together because they work very synergistically. Like I said, aloe by itself is strong, but when it's mixed with manjushta, it's super strong. Turmeric is strong, but when it's mixed with dahi, when it's mixed with yogurt, the yogurt gives it a delivery to actually be delivered in the skin, right? So that delivery is called anupan. It's very important. So the way the juicing is used in Ayurveda is it's used as a delivery. So you can take the herbs and you can mix the herbs, and of course the herb itself is a juice. So when we are taking the potent herb like we are taking neem or tulsi juice and so on and so forth, we are taking very small amounts. Internally, when we are taking, again, it's smaller than the usual American glasses or pint or whatnot. So let's take a little bit of dardima. It's also good for digestion. We're going to take just a small amount. That's all you need. Equal amount of unsweetened cranberry juice. if you do not know how to approximate, like I do, I'm pretty good at approximating how much milliliters this is. Use a little, a cup or a spoon or something. Equal amounts of all three. Oh, not oil. So someone's asking a question, how do you get oil out of a leaf? No, we're not getting oil, we're getting the juice out of a leaf. So this is 1 part pomegranate juice, 1 part unsweetened cranberry, and 1 part pure aloe vera. All of them are unsweetened. And what would this be good for? This is fantastic for women-related issue. It can be given to a natural diuretic, can be given to people with MEHA, metabolic disorders, urinary issues, kidney issues. But it's a little kind of hard to drink because of the taste is. So what we do is, if we want to make it also good for the digestion, so we add this very special mix. This is Atul's mix of chaat masala. You can get it ready-made. I don't like the ready-made so much as I like the Atul's chaat masala.
Can
We
you
want to
just
put a little
hold
bit
them?
of, this is the homemade chaat masala. We have, Atul is right here. What are the things that you put in your chaat masala?
Dried pomegranate seeds ground up, black pepper, long pepper or pipli, amchur powder, which is dried green mango powder, roasted cumin dried, regular salt, and some black salt.
That's awesome. The one that is in this packet, the green packet, is mango, black salt, cumin powder, coriander, muskmelon, mint, black pepper, dried ginger.
I also have coriander in mine.
Clove, nutmeg, caraway. So the little bit different formula. The chaat masala is a very chaat masala means, chaat literally means one that you can lick. It's very lickable. It's something you lick and say, that's yummy. That's what chaat is. Masala means powder. So powdered spices that you can lick and say, oh my god, that's yummy, because that is yummy. And chaat masala is really, really yummy. And I love Atul's chaat masala. And I think this one's without the hing. This is without the asafoetida.
Yes.
But you can make it with asafoetida. We have another student, I don't know if he's logged in. He makes his own because asafoetida is sometimes not gluten-free. So I like a lot of chaat masala.
You can use it on roasted vegetables, cut raw fruit, anything.
Yeah, it makes you want to and it's best on tart and sour things because it's the unripe mango, the dried pomegranate powder, the black pepper, the different salts. It makes it like that's so tasty. That's a good. So we will put it on all kind of fruit. Really, we put spice in our juices. Yes, we do. So here we go. Cheers. That is good. I can taste the aloe vera. I can taste the unsweetened cranberry, and I can taste the pomegranate, but most important, it's so tasty because of this chaat masala. And the chaat masala, what in Sanskrit we call this prakshev dravya. It is a prakshev dravya are these extra herbs that we put. I'm going to put a little bit more because I'm greedy for that good taste. And it completely hides the taste of aloe or that astringent feeling you had. So this is pretty much my dosage for my health issue. There you go. That's it. That's your juicing dosage. That was amazing. All right, let's see if there are any questions. There are no more questions. I think we are done for the day. We will also made quite a few recordings earlier, and we are going to be posting those pre-recorded Earth Day videos within the next hour. Namaste. Thank you so much for logging in and giving us your time. Namaste.
Okay, so I'll end the streaming now. Stop.
Yeah.